We are living in very interesting times. There was a time when the American intelligence agencies were regarded as omnipotent, as the ultimate word in intelligence operations, but that time is long over. As happens worldwide, decadence, degeneration takes over states, and that is how so many empires and states have collapsed, and of course, the USA is no exception. The Syrian Aleppo adventure appears to be the last gasp of the deep state, what Kash Patel described as gangster government in his magnum bonum book of 2023. Certainly, the time of responsible government is long over in the United States, as we have seen, particularly since 1990, the watershed. Till 1990, the world has great faith in the USA as upholder of freedom and democratic values, whatever the contradictions. The first Iraq war marked the end of that era, and the duplicitous way in which the Americans stopped after invading Iraq and allowing Saddam Hussein to crush the Iraqi Shia rebellion showed that America was no longer the state which stood for freedom and international human values. Certainly that was over. The 1993 Iraq war further destroyed the fiction that the Americans stood for some kind of, free world. There were certain ethics governing international relations. The rule established in 1993 was that any state who has the might can attack anyone and destroy anyone. So whatever remained of ethics was destroyed in the 1993 Iraq war, clearly destroyed. Now we are seeing another mysterious eruption in Aleppo. Mysterious in the sense that the American Syrian adventure, the CIA Syrian adventure had totally failed. But now suddenly a man who was a prisoner in the US jail escapes, and mysteriously an insurrection erupts in Aleppo. Certainly there is more to it than one can see, and this is one of our assessments, because we at the Mezendorf, we have a galaxy of old retired intelligence hands from many agencies, including American agencies. So our experts did carry out an assessment. There was a time when French musketeers planned to eliminate de Gaulle to sabotage the French president's decisions to make peace with Algerian rebels, much commemorated in the famous movie The Day of the Jackal. A similar attempt is being made by a country's deep state to sabotage Syria and set up a chain of events that leads to rocking the boat. Continuous, independent, intelligence channels are reporting Ukrainian and internal American plots to somehow terminate the transition of power on 25th January 2025. As my American friend described the situation as, quote, we live in biblical times, unquote. All we can do is to pray that President Trump is sworn in on 25th January 2025. This is the second great man who defied the US deep state after JFK. I repeat, all we can do is pray, because mean mortals are trying their best to ensure that this great man is somehow sabotaged. There is always that gap between the lip and the cup, and of course, we have to keep our fingers crossed and see. God save the greatest President of the United States, President Trump. As Kash Patel has described the mafia gangs of the United States as gangster government. He's got a list of about 60 people also who have been constantly sabotaging the United States as well as the world peace. Let's hope that Kash succeeds in the FBI and puts an end to this dirty tricks brigade, which is an apology of a Federal Bureau of Investigation. Sad to state these things, how so-called agencies set up to combat crime became the biggest criminal syndicates.